So do you guys know what is port of refuge? And do you know what should be the action of the master when going towards the port of refuge? What are the conditions under which the port of refuge is sought for? So all these are important lessons to be understood for the topic of maritime law as well as covered by maritime insurance. If you are mariners intending to appear for certification examinations, especially ships, chief mates and masters, returns or oral examination, this will be a useful video for you guys as for your learning as well. So what is port of refuge? So putting into a port of refuge for the purpose of safety or operational necessity constitutes a justifiable deviation so that insurance and other contractual rights remain unaffected. So of course, if you know, and if you have been a mariner, you know that the vessel is supposed to oblige as per the charter party or the owner's contractual obligation of proceeding to the voyage as decided by the owner. So the owner provides some kind of voyage details and the vessel has to proceed on the voyage as per the agreements. But for any reason, which I'll give you some examples below, the vessel decides to deviate from that intended track, from the intended voyage, and goes into another port because of safety or security reasons, then that is not considered a deviation. That is considered as seeking port of refuge, and although it may be constituted as a break of the agreement or break of the charter party agreement or break of the owner's contractual agreement, your vessel will then still be covered by all the insurance and contractual rights because you are not breaking the agreement. You are only deviating from the intended voyage because of the safety and security of the vessel. So some of the examples are if you need to carry out necessary repairs to hull or machinery, because without which your ship may be declared unseaworthy. So if your ship becomes unseaworthy and you need to carry out necessary repairs, and that has to be done at the soonest possible moment, then you may deviate and go into a port of refuge where these necessary repairs can be carried out. You of course, masters always seek advice from the owners or the charterers. Then again, to load the vessel with necessary stores in order to complete the voyage safely, like bunkers and water, especially if the vessel falls short during the voyage, to generate enough fresh water on board. So if you do not have fresh water, if you do not have bunkers or food, provisions, all these necessary stores in order to complete the voyage, then this will be justifiable as well. Protection from rough weather like storms. So often many masters, what they do is if they cannot avoid a tropical revolving storm or a hurricane, then sometimes alteration of course or reduction of speed or increase of speed is not enough to protect themselves from the oncoming tropical storm. Sometimes they seek refuge in the port of refuge, like we used to do that. So when coming in from Japan going towards Hong Kong, often in the Taiwan Strait we would be facing a lot of storms or hurricanes. So instead of going towards Hong Kong, we would go and seek shelter in Taiwan, behind the north part of Taiwan, and then when the typhoon would pass, we would again proceed on our voyage. So this is just an example I'm telling you if you are familiar with that track there. If cargo has shifted or vessel has developed an angle of loll and you don't know how to correct it, or you need to lash this cargo but it can only be done in the port, then also you can go into the port of refuge. If there is leakage of oil from the stern tube seals, or if the vessel is in any kind of danger, it could be a leak in the hull, it could be a steering failure, all these examples. All right, so then you can go into the port of refuge for the safety of the vessel. What would be the procedure then by the master for calling at a port of refuge? So of course, like I said before, you must inform your owners or charterers of your intention and seek their advice. In most of the cases, if it is a justifiable diversion, if it's a justifiable deviation from the voyage, nobody will raise objection because you are doing it for the safety of the ship, cargo and the crew. Convey the preferred port of refuge and ask the owners to confirm the same, because they might inform the agents. The agents may obtain all the necessary permissions and approvals for your vessel to safely enter and exit the port. They will also arrange for agent funds. The agents will also arrange for all the facilities and the provisions that you require. The owners will also arrange then for a class or survey or a salvage association to attend the hull repairs and approve the repairs. The owners will also arrange a P&I club inspection in case of cargo damage, and the master will inform the owners, charterers of the local date, time, location of discussion, including bunkers required on board. On arrival port, master should obtain the usual port clearances. So you have to treat the vessel, the port of refuge, as a normal port that is often frequented by the ships. It's a normal port, it becomes normal port, all the formalities have to be completed. On boarding, the master should lodge a note of protest with the right to extend if required. All right, so that if there is any kind of claim tomorrow due to this deviation, then the master is protected, the marine insurance rights are protected, the contractual agreements stand. Damage sustained to the vessel should be surveyed and repaired for surveyor's recommendations, and on completion of repair, master to obtain an interim certificate of class. If surveyor attendance not available, then master to carry out a survey together with the master of another vessel and draw up a certificate of seaworthiness, stating that to the best of their knowledge, and after a visual inspection, the vessel appears and safe to carry on sea voyage to the next suitable port. Alright, so it can be done with another master as well if a surveyor is not available to do so. Finally, if the action was taken in time of peril or danger to preserve the common adventure, it is at the same time a general average act. You don't know what a general average is? Watch my videos. I have made a video on general average act and what is considered to be a general average. General voyage should be then declared, and then York and Fogg rules start to apply as well. In case of general average, master may insist on contribution from other intervals involved in the maritime adventure in the form of either cash deposits or bank guarantees. So if there is any kind of general average act, a general average act constitutes an act conducted by the ship staff to protect the vessel. However, still, if there is any losses incurred, the losses should not be of the owner alone. It should also be shared by the charterers, the ship owner, the cargo owners, and depending on the interested parties. In view a deviation from the voyage has occurred, it is necessary for master to record the date, time, position, and bunkers ROB at that time. And again, when the vessel retains her original position, the vessel shall be deemed to be off hire during this period. So all the repairs period and all that, vessel is deemed to be off hire as per the charter party agreements, and all the necessary documentation and logbooks should be maintained so that there is no dispute between the owners and charterers regarding the vessel and the vessel's time when it was on hire and off hire. So some of these terms, if you're not very familiar with, please watch my other videos on maritime law. I don't want to repeat the same information every now and then, otherwise it becomes very boring. So if some of the terms like maritime adventure and general average and all that, if you don't understand these terms, please watch my other videos and you will get a good understanding of these terms as well. I'll stop the video for now, otherwise it becomes a bit long, but remember the key aspects of this video when you are preparing for answer the examination questions or the oral assessment questions. For now, I'll say bye and I'll see you soon with my next video.